late night goodness. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Time for bed now. Sleep time. I'm awake now. I'm awake now. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome. I don't know, that joke was terrible. It was good in my head. Made sense in my head till I did it, and then it. Welcome one and all. Hello, hello. It's late night live stream time. Yes. I figured I might as well do a live stream because everyone else has done live streams today, and I've had fun watching them. And I need to crack on with this. And I thought, you know what? I'll just crack on and do a live stream. So there we go. Why not? Why not? Give you guys something to watch. And it's nice to do occasional late streams for those of you who are outside the UK, for whom this is an early morning or an early afternoon. Nice to give you guys content that's not half past arse in the morning for once, isn't it? Yes, welcome one and all. Get all the usual rubbish out of the way very, very quickly. It's one of my typical streams, so it's brought to you by a number of different individuals and groups who support this channel. First and foremost, my lovely, lovely patrons who support me at patreon.com/model. And also my YouTube channel members who became members by pressing the join button underneath any one of my videos. Those guys and girls all support me directly each month, and they make this channel possible. They pay my wages, they keep the lights on, they literally put food on my table, so I have to thank them massively. Without them, they exist. Massive thank you to all of them. And of course, my corporate sponsors, who I can't actually get the buttons to work at the moment for some reason. Everything's just kind of, oh no, they're working again now. There we go. We've got emodels.co.uk. And of course, we have as well goblingaming.co.uk, your one-stop shops for all your model making and tech. Links in the description below the video. Use those links. It'll tell them that I sent you, and I'll. So do check those guys out. Big thanks to those guys as well. Now, yes, today we're just going to crack on with the Ork WazBomma Blaster Jet Dakka Boom Dakka Jet Dakka 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 Ding Chicka Ding Chicka Chicka Ding Chicka Ding Ding. I don't really know how that appeared, or let's just shut up. So we're going to crack on with this anyway. The other reason I wanted to crack on with this tonight and get some more of this done while you're and do a live stream is because the faster I do this, the faster I can get on with the Baneblade. Oh yeah, because the Baneblade's coming after this for Warhammer Sundays. I know you guys want me to do it, so that's what's going to come after the Baneblade. I'm going to not paint it, but just build it up. Now that Chris and Ted have got their builds up. So, yeah. So we'll crack on with this in a minute. I'll have a quick look at the chat though and see who is in. Colin at Festa67's workshop seems to be the first in. Good girl. Quanaman and Dad at Scaly Models. Nice to see you, Dad. Welcome, welcome. You've got a whole raft of mods in tonight. We've even got TK. Teeks is in just a little bit before he goes to bed. So welcome, Teeks. Nice to see you as well. We have Phil East is in, and Paul Di Tommaso. Welcome, Paul. Hope you're doing okay, my friend. Paul Lyons, Mayhem Model Works. Kenneth's in. Hey, Kenneth. Must be early in the morning for you. Get yourself some breakfast, lad. Give Alex a scritch behind the ear from me. We have Hugo Model Workers in. Hello, Hugo. Welcome, welcome. You've been in all the streams today. You have. And most of you have, actually, to be perfectly honest. George Gabriel, my very, very dear friend and patron George, is in the chat, also one of your mods. So welcome to George, nice to see you as well. It is nice to actually do some of these. It's not very often I can do them, but it is nice to do late night streams every now and then, because it gives you guys who aren't in the UK to join. I know a lot of the times when I do a stream, for some of you it's like 5:30 in the morning, which is no use at all. So Chris at Gross Models in. You've got lots of mods in tonight, Chris and George and TK. So basically, if you do something dumb, they'll whoop your ass and go medieval on you within seconds. Don't cross the mods. They are lovely, but cross them. They're all in. Hello, Fox. Lumpen, Struffen, Gefahrten, Farten. Yes, says Mayhem. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I did a Trump before I went live, and now the whole room smells like farts. It's just, it'll go away eventually. Where are we? Who else we got here? All lines, Man Model Works, we've done that. George Gabriel, Skin Models, Lynn Dipples in. Welcome, Lynn. We have else. I think that's everybody who's come in. I don't think anybody else is. Oh, the Raging Model is in. Welcome, dude. Who else has come in since? I think that's everybody up to date who is in and watching. Remember, of course, as with all my live streams, there is a live chat. It's archived here, and this will occasionally fall over and go blank, but don't panic, it'll come back. But the chat is archived there, so if you want to join in the chat, do recommend friendly there. The whole reason I do this is to give you guys a place to hang out with your mates and have a chat. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing. This is relevant, really. But if you are watching, do feel free to come and join the live chat. If you're watching on a mobile device, it might be underneath the video player. If you're on the desktop version of the YouTube app, Might not be able to access the chat if you're on the YouTube app, so go for the desktop version. Anywhere else, if you're watching this embedded somewhere, hit the YouTube button in the bottom right hand corner of the video player in the play bar, and that will take you to the YouTube page where and you should, because it's what all the cool kids do. Finn the Dude is in. Evening all. Welcome, Finn. 6:30 PM, says Paul Di Tommaso. Ooh, what are you having for your dinner? Because it's just about dinner. Nom nom. So, what are we going to do? Well, we're just going to crack on this. I don't know how long I'll go for. Maybe an hour, maybe a couple of hours. We'll see. I'll probably get carried away and it'll be 4 AM. Wouldn't be impossible. So we shall see how far we get on with this. If you remember last week, we built the tailplane. Just happened to fall off. I knew that. Built the tailplane. We stuck some Dakka on the front there. I'm building this as like a hodgepodge of 2 or 3 of the different planes that you can build it as, because I'm just going to go for the things that look cool. I cleaned up and separated out the air brakes and the panels, but we're not gluing these on because I want to be able to get in there and paint all these. If you look on the I nearly said the studio model then, on the box art model, these are just painted the base colour and with a bit of a wash, but I want to do different colour pipes and tubes because there's lots of wiring in there, very X-wing there. So I'm going to have these glued on afterwards, or at least I'll figure out somehow way to glue them on without destroying the paintwork. I'll figure it out somehow. We'll get it done. It will happen. Paul Di Tomas said, Fox, we had spaghetti and garlic bread with cheese. 12-hour all-nighter stream, says George Gabriel. No, I will actually die if I do. I need to go to sleep. 30 minutes past the midnight here, says Teeks. Alarm clocking 6 hours. Yay! Yes, because you're an hour ahead of us, aren't you? It's 11:30 here. You're an hour ahead of us. Oh, falling over and he can't get up. He's like, I'm too tired, it's too late. The Thorns are like, can we go to bed now? It's bedtime, Dad. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, I know. Just shut up. Where are we up to? So yes, we're gonna carry on with this. So I've got the instructions here. Now, there was something I was going to do. I have decided what I'm going to try and do. Remember last week we made the tail. We made the tail plane, and we gave it the over the top vertical horizontal stabilizer, like that, like an old Lightning or something, an old de Havilland. But I wanted to also as well make the crossbar ones with the 2 vertical stabilizers. Now we don't have the parts for those because we've used them here. But what I'm going to do, probably won't do it tonight, but what I'm going to do is use some of the other sort of wing parts that we've got spare when I've built everything else. Do some plastic card shenaniganery and maybe custom build some vertical stabilizer tailplane, so that when I finish this and I get to sell it, whoever buys it can buy this, or they can pop that out and put the other one on, so it'll be like hopefully completely swappable if it fits and locks in place. This one you don't have to glue it in, it just sits down like that. It's great, perfect. So if I can get the other one to lock in place as well like that, then I can cobble together an alternative set of tail planes. And we'll see how that goes anyway. It might not work out, but I don't think we'll get that far anyway. Bit of water. No, fudge sticks and broom handles. New Mexico just went into shelter in place. Does that mean I can stay home? No. Yeah, but you're working in the healthcare industry, Lynn. So it's so you get our respect, even though you've got to go and work in it. So just when you don't go to work, stay at home. Don't go out. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. You know the rules. All the people, you know the rules. Keyboard popped up. Evening all, says Twisted Rail Hobbies. Evening, Twisted Rail Hobbies. Nim is in. Hey Mayhem. Hey Dad. Hey Nim. Don't say hello to me. It's all right. I'll just. I'm fine. Only joking. Right. So we'll crack on. What's the next thing we've got to do? So we did that tail plane. We've got the big shooters on the front. What I'm going to do, because this is going to be a hodgepodge, I'm going to put on more guns than it's actually supposed to have. Because we need to build the big bombs, we've got to build the cockpit, but I'm also going to stick on some of the other shooters. Because we've got two guns that go on the front, the big, massive, I assume they're, what are they? They're stubbers of some sort. They're probably, what does it say they are? I don't know. I don't know which one they are. They're probably the super shooters. I don't know if in the Blitza-Bomma mega cannon or the super shooter or the, I don't know. I'll just stick guns on the front. Whoever buys this when it's finished and painted, they can sort out what weapons they want to use in a game. I'm just building it. We'll get those done out and stuck, and we'll get them done first. Because that, although I don't know, because I'm torn, because you've got these nice little sort of grills here that look like Voyager windows, windows on USS Voyager. They look mint, but if I stick a gun on it, it covers them up. I'll cut the guns out anyway. Mayhem says it's a scrap-a-dappa-dacka-do day, don't they? Do they, Jet? Oh yeah, do don't it? Nim's still saying hello to everybody except me. Clearly, I'm not important. I'm eating it from work, so however they prepped it, and I'm not happy because huge catering order. Eating something from work, I don't know what we're eating. I have to start 2 hours early. That's not good. Right, so let's get these guns stuck on tip front. And anything else I can find that I can slap on here that can go on. I mean, a lot of this stuff will be when I've finished building everything else. There'll be whatever's left over. I'll see if I can slap it on somewhere. Get on. Oh, Ted didn't work. When all my other buttons worked, let me double check why. Hang on. Ted to work. Ted's not working then. Right with the. That's why.
Slap on.
My buttons are wrong for you. Anyway, so yes. So there we go. Bit of that.
Slap it on.
I miss Ted's old Ted shed. I like his new setup, but I do miss the old Ted shed. Right, so we're going to stick these guns on to bottom. Do matron. Find the page. We have a choice of 2 weapons, neither of which I know what the hell they are, so I'll just pick 2 at random. We've either got 16 and 17 or 26 and 20. Oh no, we can't stick those on. Hang on. Which are, oh, I see. 25 and 24, these 2 here. The ones that go on the schnoz. 25 and 24. Let's stick them on foist. It was Moida. Fox, I'm eating turkey chili from work. Oh, that sounds good. For dinner tonight, we had veggie fingers, which are like fish fingers, but they're made of vegetables. They're actually quite. We're not vegetarian. We just had some in the freezer, and they're actually quite nice. Some veggie fingers, so I had like 9 of them because Mum has like 3. Well, I had 6 or 7 of them. 6 or 7 of them, and chips and some bread sauce. Bread sauce. I love bread sauce. What am I looking for? 25 and 20 something. 5 and 24, which are, that's all bombs. Oh, there we go. Always on the last screw you look at. So we'll get my little lenses on so I can see things. Onica lenses allow me to see. Now remember, folks, when I have my lenses down, that's up, that's down. When I have my lenses down, I can't see that. Or I can see it, but it's all a blur. So if you want to catch my attention, please do put your comment in big fat capital letters so I have a chance to see it go past. Or if you want to, you can do a super chat. Hit the dollar symbol at the bottom of this, just towards the bottom of the chat window. Hit that little dollar symbol, and that'll do a super chat, which puts it in a coloured box, and I can't miss your comment. You don't have to. And hi, so stop wibbling. It's his name. There you go. Good girl. Cinder, yes, better say hi to Fox Purist. Wibble. Yeah, then exactly. Don't wibble. Wibble. I'm going to wibble about not wibbling. I'm fine, but I have to fly to Pennsylvania tomorrow because my mum is not doing good, says Edward. I'll take a big of a... Wow, words. Give your mum lots of big hugs from us then. Not that they don't mean anything. Obviously, she won't if we are, but big hugs to your mum. Safe journey as well to Pennsylvania. Take care of yourself, buddy. 4. If I do miss your comment in chat, by the way, apologies. Just give it 5 minutes and pop it in chat again. Like I said, just a big capitals or a super chat. But it is likely, because I'm building, I probably will miss some comments. Like I said, that's all just a big blur when I've got these lenses on. I can't see crap, basically. I mean, I see crap. Literally, I see crap. That's why I wear glasses, but you know what I mean. Right, let's get these shooters. Sort it out. I don't know what weapons these actually are, because I don't actually... Doesn't... The beauty of some of these Ork kits is it doesn't actually always tell you. It lists the weapons on the data sheet if you want to play the game. It doesn't actually point them necessarily point them out anywhere as to which are which. I think you're just supposed to know. Which is great if you know. If you don't know, you ain't got a blooming chance. Accent terrible. Colin will hate. It's got barrels to drill out. Drill out the barrels. Yeah. Mayhem says bold and moist. I can't get close to the microphone. They're moist, unfortunately. Colin says bold. Fox decided to do the live stream. Welcome, EC Idaho. Hello to you all. Reggie Modeler, planning on ordering a bunch of those Dark Star molten metal paints in December. Blue steel, tarnished steel, Victorian gold, bright gold, and a few others. When in town, lenses come down, says. Oh, very yes, says Mayhem. Thanks, Fox and Lynn. No worries, my friend. Lynn says, fork handles. Handles for forks. Go on, Colin. Did you just say that into the microphone without thinking? Fork handle. Right, let's get these cleanotated up. Drill them out. Do 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 do. Now, if I suddenly have to scoot off for a minute, I may just have to go and wish Mama Fox good night if she goes to bed. They were pootling about on the landing out there. Hello, Mama Fox. Yes, I hope you've all had a good day today, wherever you are. What have you been doing? I've not been very productive today, I'll be honest. I've not been feeling great today, so productivity's been like floor level 0. Hoping to get some more of the Lehman Rust done, but I didn't get a chance. Try that tomorrow. It's mostly weathering now on that Lehman Rust. That's the next step. Episode 4. So it's cleaned up. Cleaned up reasonably. Remember, it's an Ork vehicle, like I've said before. It's an Ork flyer. I've got some rough bits. It doesn't matter because it's made of scrap. Nonsense. Wishes and hopes. Mould lines removed. For once, I actually correctly referred to them as mould lines without having to think whether I needed to say mould lines or seam lines. Brain hates me. Yes, I hope you've all been well. There's no point asking. Well, I can't actually ask Bench and Belly because for some of you, it's not late night. So what have you? What did you have for your dinner? Those of you who are in countries where it's just gone past dinner time, or it's just... what are you working on? How long I'll go for tonight? Go for a while. Depends how much I get done. My thumb's hurting as well today for some. Oops. It's been a little off colour today. Not like horribly ill or anything. A little bit bleh. Got anything done? Well, that's fine. Right. We'll have days like that. A bit rough around the edges. Oh. Mould line in there. I can't get the scraping tool anywhere near. Oh, knife blade. Blade of knife. Camera? Yeah. What to talk about, to be honest. Got to start a live stream and then I realise I've got no conversation in me. That's a bit rubbish, isn't it? Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream. I'm just going to crack on with some work. You talk amongst yourselves. Bye. Now, I think I've got the camera in a good place tonight, but do tell me if you just see in the back of my head constantly. As always, of course, or as I said last time in the last couple of streams, I have got my new updated settings going on. My 1200 kilobits per second data, so up to the YouTube. So let me know how it looks. It's a webcam, so it's going to look a bit rough around the edges anyway. Just let me know it's all stable or whatever. Stability issues or anything like that, because that would suck. 800. It's 800, yeah, that's it. You say 800 in German? Is it 800 or 800? 800 or 108? I don't know how you... I can do German numbers up to 10 and then I get a bit confused. Gets a bit... I just find if I shout loud enough, it probably sounds about right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, God damn it, Fox. Late night. 1, 2, 3, 1... Water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After that. Right, drilling time. Where's the letters? Like we did with the last lot of guns, these will probably be completely off center after going with knife blade. I'll start with slightly smaller drill bit just for safety. Look at chat. It's been a day, but that's it. Say good night to Mama Fox for Mrs. Lynn. Cause they coo. And Mama Fox, Pigeon, everybody's saying, this is Warhammer Polka. Drill out the barrels. Why are people saying pigeons? My day today has not been great, to be honest, says Raging Modeler. Free to get your stresses out in chat. Been working and finished late, but doesn't mean I will get to finish a bit earlier tomorrow or Friday. I'm currently wishing the days away. I was off work next week. Yay, week off. Loaded 300 Christmas trees and had to move them about 20 minutes later when we thought we were done. Then before we left, I found that we'd need to move them again. Says, like, yeah, that's it. Deeks is working on his 132nd Iron Maiden Spitfire. Jolly good. It's looking good so far, what I've seen of it. Idaho jumped. Great flipping wadges of question mark. I don't know what that means. Working on getting gumption to hold the kid to confirmation tonight. Modeler is really motivating. I can see your bald spot. I don't have a bald spot. Face. Belly turkey burger bench will be clean next week. I'm off, says Lynn. There is very flat, says Mayhem. I'd wave to you, model making guru, when the stream started for some reason, says Festa. Good girl. Like I say, I'm not that bad, but I do occasionally try and scroll my PC monitor up and down when I've got chat up there, and I'm like, no, screen. Who what needs a camera bench at the moment? Some fun Reaper Bones minis, then Warforged set. Belly, well, yeah, never mind. Modeler. It's easier to count in English, you know, says Quano. Lynn just types out 1 to 10 in English. That's how you count in German. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is Dutch then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How's that for Dutch? Why can't I do at on your chat, says Skipper Scale Models. Just do at model making guru. Hello, Skipper Scale Models. Should be able to do me. Just try it to someone. Go on, Ted. Hey, also, welcome, Ted. Hey, welcome, hello. Also, you've had whiskey. You probably can't do much in my chat without getting it wrong. I've had whiskey and everything. Blame the whiskey, Ted. Always the way. This is the way. EC says, Zijn 11, 12, 13, 14. 13, 14. That's... Zijn is 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20. I'm going to guess then it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 20, 60, 80, 90, whatever 20 is. But after that, 21, 22, because it's like 21, oh, it's 20 is 20, isn't it? 21, 20, 22. I don't know. How do we even get on this? Shut up. Talking about. Yeah, but whose idea was that? Honestly, you don't have to make me talk some rubbish on my stream. It's all your fault. Spriglo Addict's in. Welcome, Spriglo Addict. You still with us, Ted? Or have you broken something trying to do an at? Bless you. Bless you, my child. Why is it no matter how hard you try to get the thing in the middle, you never quite get the thing in the middle, even though it looks like it's in the looks like it's spot in the middle, but I guarantee you when I pull the blade away, it's not in the middle. God, absolute gimpatron. Oh well. This is why we start with a smaller hole, children. Remember, children, when you're drilling, make your hole bigger as you go along. Don't start with a big hole straight away. In fact, I'll do the side barrels first because they're exactly that size. That is the one advantage of the Games Workshop pin vise drill bits. They are exactly the right size for barrels for the side vents. Squeaky time. Squeaky tonic. The reason I do that first is so that I know that the blade will go through to the back there and I can stop drilling. That's a bit small, but that's fine. Side barrel on here. I know it's not a side barrel, it's the muzzle brake, I suppose you call it, or the gas vent. Something like that. I'll call it the muzzle brake because that sounds cool. Right. Now, if you'll give me a second, peeps, I just need to go and wish Mama Fox good night, and then I'll come back to you. So back in a second. One. Ah, there you go. Right, where were we? We were drill-elating a barrelings, weren't we? Yes, drill out the barrels. Drill out the barrels of guns. God, gee. Right, so bit of schmutz in there. Sometimes it's good to just go backwards out the barrel while twiddling it. Pardon the expression. Schmutzage. Schmutzage. Got to drill this one out. Again, this isn't at all in the centre. I'll angle a little bit first just to set it off, and then we're through. Very thin, little bit of plastic there. Well, it's good to drill out that vent first because there's only that little tiny bit of plastic I drill through there. So now I could go in with a drigger bill bit, a bigger drill bit. Walking to boom. But the risk is, if I do this, it's a calculated risk, because if the hole that I've just put in there with the smaller drill bit is far enough off from the centre, I risk going through the side of the actual barrel, which will suck. Ooh, get stay in. Go. That one might get away with it a bit. Let's just risk it for a biscuit and see what happens. Then you've got to go through a little tiny bit of plastic, remember, because I've already drilled out the vent. Got away with that one. Would have got away with it if it weren't for them darn kids. Biscuit for a biscuit. Bad. That's not so bad. So we got away with that. So I just need to, if you've seen this before, because that hole is not centered, see that? Because the hole is not actually fully centered, I just need to carve out the rest of the side, well, the areas where it, I can explain it. I just need to carve it out so it looks like it's centered, basically. Very gently. I'm not putting much pressure on at all. Just really scraping the blade around. I'm turning the blade like that. Just to very gently carve away around the edge so it just makes the barrel a uniform or reasonably uniform thickness all the way around. Yeah. I look at where the barrel is the thinnest. I try to make the rest of the barrel look like that. The way it usually works is that you get one perfect and the other one looks like ass. Find out. Sometimes you can get away with it if it's slightly off center because it's like an old World War I machine gun. Then sometimes you can say because it's like the barrel and the hole at the bottom of the barrel, like an old call it. Who was the guy that made them? I can't remember. Right. So then, as always, now we've drilled that out. It's a little rough around the edges, so I'll just take some of the extra thin, get it off the brush. Where the little filaments are. Filament is a lovely word, but out of context, quite upset. That now just gets rid of all the little, because I've basically widened that barrel out with the knife blade and scraped it round. It just gives a really rough stepped texture, scrubbly, horrible texture. So that just, the glue just melts it a little bit. Fantastic, darling, absolutely fantabulous. Yes, it does. There. Right. Put this blade away. There you go. Quick look at the chat. It's actually Fumpfzig, but hey, I'm tired and not German. I apologise, I'm tired and not German. I would like to learn German. I took 1 year at university and flunked it. Yeah, I'd actually wished I'd learned German. I didn't at school. Did that work? Yes, it did, Ted. Thank you. It's all about being able to type after several whiskies, Ted. That's the trick, you see. Yes, I always wanted to. I learned French at school, unfortunately, not German, but I always wanted to learn. Then, about 10 years after I left school, I got myself a How to Speak German set, but it was on cassette back in then. I did about 3 pages, and then never got around to doing the rest of it. Sorting me rug out. Don't mean me toupee. So yeah, so I never got around to learning it. I do wish I had though. Right, so this needs to go. I don't think these are chiral. I don't think there's a left and right. I think it's just slap it on basically. On there. It is a shame that they cover up these beautiful little sort of vent grill things. But if it's a choice between a grill or more Dakka, I think you'll forgive me if I go for the option of more Dakka at all times. Because you've got these 2 big guns here, but why would you not have more guns? I think that would be stupid not to have more guns. Yeah, I'll put in guns. Just shut up and do it. I think when it comes to orc stuff, correct answer is always more. Especially when it comes to rivets, Dakka. Touch that to that. That's one. Yeah. Right in it? Yeah, it's brilliant, eh? Lovely. And then this one over here, you see? Now, I am keeping a conscious half beady eye as I'm sticking things on. to what is going to be paintable. So I can see quite easily that by sticking these on, I'm not giving myself any painting issues later on down the line. But I do have to keep, as I'm going through all these parts and sticking them on, I do have to keep half an eye open, or, you know, a bit of my brain keyed into the fact that I can't just glue things on and then suddenly panic about painting them later. Like I would have loved to have done a spiral on the intake cone here. Sadly, because we had to do some custom fudging to get that to go in, there's no way to put that in later. That had to be sacrificed. Look at all that then, all them shooters. Yes, right, that is. Yeah. Right, so that's a couple of more shooters on there. Funzig is 50. Funzig. Is it? I don't know. Einzig, Dreizig, I don't know. Muzzled to perfection. Drigger Bilbit sounds like an ordinary old well, Mayhem says an ordinary old prospect. I think he means ornery old prospect. Hi Archie again, says Lynn. Hi Archie. Because Comrade Junction's in. Maxim, that's it. Maxim gun. That's the one I was thinking of, Ted. Thank you very much. Doing wake up, nudge, nudge, says Lynn to Chris. What's reflected on your bench, asks Sprugoo. These sparkles here, these sparklies. I mean, these things. It's the light shining through the lenses on my magnifiers. The light, overhead lights catch it in the right way. Which, it's impossible for me to actually do it voluntarily. It just kind of does it. There, you mean that thing? Yes, it's the light going through. I've got some overhead strips of LEDs, which is randomly spread about, and there, yeah. Kipper says, just water in your glass. Just water, I'm afraid. I can't drink coffee at this time of night, otherwise I won't sleep. Comrade said, yeah, it's like what kind of water tank cooled machine gun. You certainly don't want a moist filament fox, says Phil Lewis. Hey Phil, no you don't. Okay, Dutch word for today is Grieshoedfolie. 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 What is a? Have I just said something really bad? Why do I trust you? I'm probably saying the worst possible word. I'm going to guess it's Grieshoedfolie. Grieshoedfolie. The Vickers and things like the MG8 were based on the Maxim gun. Watching Fox work on this kit made me pull out mine to see what I chose to do, says Paul. Grieshoedfolie. Grieshoedfolie. Late at night I can do a bit of the Dutch, but not during the day. I don't know why. Yeah, if you've got one of these in your stash, this is just. I'm having great fun with this because you can just make it a little bit custom. I'm gonna have a lot of custom work to do on this. Right, where are we done? So we've done that bit. We've done the shooters on the front. We need to now go back to one of the other builds because I'm doing this as a hodgepodge of different plane types. Remember. So I want to use the bubble gunner for the Blitza-Bomma because I like the bubble turret rather than. I don't know why. I like this one a bit more than that one. That one's kind of like Messerschmitty. I just like this one a bit more. I don't know why. I don't know actually. I'm torn now. Oh, because it's that's one guy hanging out the back with a gun, but this is a guy with a double turret. Yeah, don't know. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the red one, which is one guy with one gun and a fixed turret facing? Basically, he's shooting the tailplane, which is maybe why there's a bit of extra metal there. See, gun point in there, extra metal. He's probably shot that bit several times. He probably has. So do you prefer this one? Square canopy, or do you prefer the bubble turret with the rotating double gun, double shooters? Which one do you prefer in chat? Red or yellow? That turret. I'll let you decide. Grieshoedfolie is plastic kitchen foil. Oh, okay. Okay, so Gries is house. Oh, hang on. Grieshoed, is that household foil? Is it household foil? Have I just translated that in my brain? Grieshoed. Is that household? I just said household. You've got me doing that now by default. Yes, did you prefer the square or the round? the bubble turret or the red one. I've got all the forward machine guns on mine as well as the wingtip thrusters, says Paul Di Tommaso. The burner bomber turret, says Paul. Big gun, says Sprue. So I assume it's that one. I'm not going to paint it yellow probably, but I kind of like that turret. Junction says yellow turret. I think it's a vote for the bubble turret there. Yeah. Yep, Lynn says yellow. Yeah, there we go. Cool, we'll do that one then. Yes, Fox, you did a translate. Did I just figure that out? I don't know. I just guessed that Huis was house and it's like household foil. I just translated a Dutch word without having any frame of reference. I'm dead smart. My brain is brilliant. Occasionally. I can't believe I just did that. I think you should all just praise me now explicitly in chat for the next 5 minutes because that was just the best thing ever. I just used my brain to science the poop out of it. Right, so we have the cockpits to build. We also have, I'm not doing all the hundreds of bombs underneath, but I'm doing the 2 big bombs. So I think what I might do first is the big bombs. I'm not doing the wingtip fuel tanks because I don't like the look of them. But I do need to make the 2 great big bombs. Great big bombs! Big fat bombs. Which, you know, I'm going to have to paint checkers on. Jamie Bone. Hey, Jamie. Welcome, Jamie. Jamie Bone says Dad Blue. Yes. The Scaly Model says red, red, red. Yeah, but you're going off the colour, Dad, not which turret you like. If you get some 40k dudes and jiggle your head, you could probably do a Saturday Night Fever with you as the disco ball. I can't do that. Copyright. God, don't. Oh, I just started singing it then. Common Road Junction. Well done, Fox, you legendary man. Very much. Chris. I can't remember what the phrase was now. Huishoed. I just translated Huishoed. I probably didn't pronounce it very well. Is that what you wanted, Fox? That'll do. I'll take it. Julius Dembski says, good evening, everyone. My first time making the live stream. Welcome, Julius. You're more than welcome. Thank you for coming along and welcome to join the chat. Welcome to join the chat. I mean, thank you for joining the chat. Jesus Christ, Fox, get your words out. Welcome. I hope it lives up to your expectations. Right, so let's have a look and see. So we're going to do these 2 great big bombs. Now, if you remember, I did buy a pre-made one of these on eBay a few weeks ago. It'll be my second Tabletop Trauma Center series. When I finish the Lehman Russ and done some other things, the second Tabletop Trauma Center will be me stripping down and repainting the one I've bought off eBay, which is not painted that much, but it still counts. But it did have the 2 big bombs on the bottom. And I was thinking, I can't paint them, I can't do checker patterns on them because it was glued on. Thankfully, it was glued on, but it was glued on really, really badly, so it just fell off with a little bit of persuasion. So I will be able to do some good bomb painting on that. But on this one, we can keep them separate right from the start. Let us get some parts we need. Not that sprue. I see no bombage on there. I see no bomb parts on that. Cockpit stuff. There we go. Big fat bomb parts. Does my bomb look big in there? Old joke. So I want 101, 119. Let's get the part ready. Put that there. I don't think I need the pin vise now. I'll put that away for a bit. Now, my productivity over the next couple of days is going to fall off the edge of a cliff a little bit. Because, next day or two, because, what do I need? 100, 101 and 99. The other reason I wanted to do this stream today is 100, 101. If you remember, just recently, Gary sent me approximately 3.5 billion Citadel paints that he was no longer in need of. It was very, very kind of him to do. It was a very gracious gift, for which I'm truly grateful. But I've got nowhere to put them. They're in a box at the minute. So I have ordered a whole mess of Hobby Zone double drawers. Like 6. You can't really see, but the one that's got 2 of the long straight drawers, like basically these, which are perfect for paint. It's got 2 of these in each unit. I've got 6 units coming, so that's 12 drawers, which will be enough for all those paints plus some other stuff and bits and bobs. So they're, I think, turning up at some point tomorrow. And then I've got to make them all. And I suck at doing the making of the woods. So I probably won't get much more done now this week. Once they turn up. Because then on Thursday, of course, on Friday, of course, it's Fallout Friday. And Saturday, Skyrim Sunday, Saturday, and so on and so on. So, right. So I thought I might as well do a stream now tonight. For other reasons as well. But one of the reasons was just so you've got something during the week. Because I've not done any filming yet. So let's that give you a bit of something. Get them cleaned up. Priesthood. I impressed myself. I managed to completely translate a Dutch word with no reference at all. I have no reason to know why a house would be huis or why hold would be hoed. I don't know. And I try not to make it sound Arabic. I keep making Arabic. Mind you, I say no frame of reference, but I do have a frame of reference because you told me what it actually translated as, like plastic foil. Although you didn't say household foil, so I still had a reasonable bit of impressive translating skill there. You told me what it was, but you didn't give me the exact words. Genius! I have the great brain. I wouldn't ever be able to do it again. In such an impressive way. That will never happen again. Impress you once, that's pretty skillful. Impress you twice, yeah, something's going on here. Also, I'm suddenly really hungry. I have nothing to eat. Right, so clean up these little bits of nubulations. Now, I'm not going to go too far with these because, if you remember, this is a tubular object. Tubular, dude, it's like tubular. I can't do that. Tubular objects, so we don't want to get rid of the nubs right away, do we? No, Fox, we don't. Yes, well remembered. People in my imagination, in my brain, because we've got to clean this up later. Let's also look at the instructions as to how this goes together, eh, Fox? That'd be a good start, wouldn't it? Goes together like that. So we need to fill this gap, and there's no point carving these nubs away because then what we risk doing is making these edges not match up. So what we need to do is glue this together first. You've done this a minute. You know what I'm doing. I do love this. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's basically you've got the sort of Gorka Mork or the Ork skull and crossbones there. All these massive rivets. It may end up that we have to replace some of these rivets, or we may not. Thankfully, they've not put any rivets right where the mould line is, so it may be that when we fill this gap, actually add more rivets. Because there are some places on this that more rivets is always the right answer. Glue down this join in the middle. Not worried if I get glue splodging around the edges, because it's going to be extra thin, so it's not a big mess. There's 3 rivets on the middle of that plate there, but I suspect they're going to get sanded away when I fill that, but that's fine. Because thanks to Kenneth, I do have rivets up the wazoo, so I can do lots of rivet replacements. Like there. Give it 5 seconds. Like a glove. Oh, big, huge bead of plastic came out of that flipping heck. Wow. You could climb that. Right, squish out there. We've got any glue in that bit of the... Yeah, so it's nice that they've left gaps in the rivets where the mould line is, which makes life easier. I think I'll add rivets later, but those 3 little rivets there, they will get sanded away after we replace those. It's not a problem. I like doing rivets. Rivets is fun. I like doing. Great. Oh, can I put rivet? Oh, rivet, yes. Hello. Why did my fan just kick in? Let's have a look. Task manager. The computer doing now. Nothing. Okay, cool. Cool. Oh, it's not being weird, that's the main thing. Now, being orc as usual, it's got spikes on these tail fins here, and it's like, ow, ow, every time I try and... Oh. This is the one downside of any orc stuff, or orc and Death Guard and Chaos. It's spikes. Hurt. Got this little bit here. This bit simply goes on that like there. Now, there are, again, little rivets on there, but I suspect they're going to get pinged away in the course of... Ooh, burpage. That tasted like veggie fingers. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, it did. Oh, delicious. These are going to get sanded away. So we'll have to replace them. As long as I remember they're there, that's the main. Now, those two parts don't quite line up very well. There'll be a bit of generous sanding to get these two edges to line up, but that's fine. Oops. Unless I've got it the wrong way around, of course, which would explain a lot. No, there we go. Get that squidge down. Yeah, we'll have to sand those away. No problem. Already made a mess of that bit down there, but that's... Because I know I'm going to be sanding this, it doesn't matter if I get a bit of splodgy glue or something. It's not like it's thick polystyrene cement. It doesn't really matter. Splodgy glue does me a favour because it helps fill up anyway. That's all hunky-dory. My book. Hunky dunky, it's a monkey. Right. I can sit there. Quick look at chat. Burpage, yes. I'll shut it, Lynn. No spoilers, but it's very good. He's got my paint, says Skipper Scale Models. Who's got your paint? Say Vochtig. 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 Bugger, there went my Christmas present to you, Fox. What, the 6 drawers? Yes. Sorry. Yeah, I've ordered 6 sets. It's 12 drawers. And in fact, I didn't. In fact, it was actually a gift from Mama Fox. Mama Fox paid for them because my birthday and Christmas present combined. So, Phil Lewis has got to go to bed. So good night, Phil. Take care. You've already gone, but thank you. Take care. Apart from pronunciation, I am proud of your brain workings. You know I can't pronounce Dutch, and you know Mrs. Teeks finds it hilarious and offensive at the same time when I do. I'm always happy to offend and laugh at the same time. So I wouldn't deprive her of her vast amusement at my inept pronunciation of Dutch words. Am I not getting better at the though? Am I developing little bits of ability here? I'd like to think I'm getting a bit of that. Not something that non-Dutch speakers naturally do. It's like we don't naturally have any skill at doing things like the rolling of the R's, the back of the throat, or the glottal clicks of some African nations that we can't do either. Glottal stops, we did look at that completely. Some things it's just not natural for like British to say. Like I wish I could roll R's like Russians, like mellifluous. Oh God, the guy that, if you get a chance, watch an interview or find and watch any interview with the guy that discovered graphene. Purely because the way he says graphene with a Russian accent and he rolls the R and it's just sounds fantastic. It's all squishy and it's like, I can't, in my mind, I can hear it, but I know I can't say graph, I can't do it. Graphene, I can't do that rolling back of the throat R that he can do. I think he's Russian. But yeah, just find it and watch it. The way he rolls his R's, I wish I could do. It's like saying graphene, but he does the back of the throat rolling R, which I have no ability to do at all. It's a shame. I like that. I like that sound. Can't remember his name. Whenever he demonstrates how he discovered the simple way to make it with just sellotape and pencil shavings, he's always got the super shaky hands of nervousness because he's a physicist, not somebody that's used to being on TV. So he's always got these super shaky hands going on. It's quite incredible though how they discovered it, how he discovered how to make graphene. Amazing. It's so simple. Yeah. You don't know what graphene is. Graphene is basically a layer of, oh crap, is it graphite or carbon? I think it's graphite. It's a layer of graphite 1 atom thick. So it's a one-dimensional sheet of graphite called graphene. And it's supposed to be like the toughest, strongest material ever made. And he found it by quite simply taking a flake of graphite onto a piece of sellotape and folding it onto itself and pulling it apart, which splits it in two on the sticky side. Then do it again and again and again and repeat it. And every time you're splitting it in two. And at the end of it, you end up with a single atom of graphene. It's the wonder material that is going to hail so many technological revolutions, and yet has not yet done so because it's notoriously hard to manufacture in great quantities. And I realised I stuck that piece on the other one the wrong way around, but never mind. It's too late now. I can't go back. Yeah, so it's all very well making a tiny amount of it with a bit of sellotape, some pencil shavings, and you've got to do it industrially. It's not. Yes, I glued on that little fin on the other one the wrong way. That's why it didn't quite fit. Well, we can sand it back. It's fine. It's Ork. Nobody cares. It'll be slightly wonky, and that's what Orks do. So that's 2 bombs made. Oh, so that's where Skipper Ted's Citadel paints went. Oh, yes, I see what you mean. I get you now. What does Vochtig mean? Have I said that wrong? Is it a rude word? Probably is. Adam's off to bed, apparently. I missed the comment. Sprue glue, it's for the airfix. Talking about what? What's the best way to do mottled camouflage in a 1/72 jet without an airbrush? Yeah, I'd agree with Teeks. Stipple with a rough sponge, or, well, I was going to say with a brush, but 72nd. You could potentially dry brush it. You get a very, very small makeup brush, and stipple it, like dry brushing, but stippling dry brushing, like with the brush, getting the brush and doing that, rather than just however you normally do it, just getting the brush and literally stippling it on like that. But if you've got the option of not doing mottled camouflage and some other camouflage scheme, because it is the kind of thing you really need to do, you can do it. I'm off to sleep, says Ted. I think the live stream whiskey has kicked in, and it has, because he does that twice. Night, Ted. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Will you all keep it down? Some of us have work tomorrow, or something, whatever, says Ostrich 90 billion. Hey, Ostrich 90 billion. Rubbish burp that was. For some reason, my burp right now, that burp tasted exactly like chicken and mushroom pot noodle. Brilliant, but now I really want a chicken pot noodle. Graphite, carbon, and diamonds. Diamonds are all the same thing. 4, yes. Vochtig equals wet or moist. Vochtig. Yeah, that's not as squishy a word as moist. So we built those 2 bombs. Done. And now it is time for the cockpitten Gefahrten with the shootings and the pilot and the killing peoples and the dudes. Yeah, that's it. I don't expect this to take too long. But I do need to keep half an eye open, as always, as to what I can paint and what I can't paint. If I'm lucky, I can assemble the cockpit and pilot all in one go and just have one thing to paint. If I am unlucky, I'm going to have like a whole pack, because I've already got some bits I need to keep separate. The end of the jet engine and these bits. I don't want to have a massive load of raft of bits I can't stick on. I'm going to have to keep the bombs separate so I can paint them. If I want to do a pattern on them. I don't know yet. I don't know. Right, so. Ooh, big yawn. That was a big yawn. Right, let's get the cockpit and Gefahrten done. So 87, 38, and 41. Start with. Guess these are approved. Probably that one. It's the cockpit tub. 87, 38, 41. 87. With the tub. Which is labelled not 87. On the sprue, it's actually labelled as number 11. Another one then. 87. So when they say 87, do they actually mean part number 11? Wow, the numbering on this kit is terrible. Almost a third of the parts are mislabeled in the instructions, misnumbered. What the hell is part number 87 then at home? I've got to find part number 87 now just to find out. 87 is going to be something else completely, isn't it? Like completely unrelated. Let's find out. Let's find out. 29. Oh, hang on. I take it back. I stand corrected. There is a second cockpit tub, which, as far as I can tell, is, I think, exactly the same. That's weird. Exactly the same. Oh no, it's ever so slightly different. Okay, that's weird. I'll take it back. I'll shut up. Shut it up now, so. Right, 87 we need. It looks exactly the same. The only difference being there's an ejector pin mark in the bottom of this one. And there isn't one in the other one. So I assume there must be a difference in the pilot or something. Or 87, 38, and 40. One. Not. This is, that's 41. That one. I love the fact he's wearing like a proper World War II British flying jacket kind of affair going on. Great. If you get the Scrapjet Megatrack, it's basically a jet engine. It's an aircraft fuselage with wheels, like the body with the wings taken off and stuff. The fuselage of an aircraft with tracks and wheels on the front, so it's a car. But the driver has like a flying jacket and flying helmet and stuff. It's great. I love that. 74, 75. Not on that screen, then, isn't it? Oh. Be anywhere now. Let's see if we can go off the shape. Oh, winging it now. All kinds of little grommets and all kinds of things going on there. Awesome. There's going to be lots of little greebles left over that I can do things with. Maybe. We can hope, can't we? 70, there's that. 4. 75. Oh, yeah, ping. Put them in there. 74. What was it? 74 and 75, which is tiny and probably nowhere near 74, I would guess. Also part number 76, which get that off carefully because it's a little aiming reticle. 70 is the part. I say tiny part. Compared to a trumpeter kit, it's like half a hull. The size of a trumpeter plane hull, but there you go. 40 and 39. 2 arms. You need aims. 40 and 39. It might be that, for example, I'm going to have to dry fit because it might be that I can assemble the dude not actually glued in place until after he's been painted. 42, 43 or 45. Have a look at the heads now. 42, 43 and 45. Okay, I know you guys can't see this, but we have a dude with pilot goggles and a flying and a headset. A dude with like a sky captain kind of hat and a monocle. And then a guy here with flying goggles, but his goggles are up over the top of his head. Prefer. Unfortunately, I've not got the option of the guy with the scarf flying around the back of his head because it's not an open canopy. Although, I'd do it as an open cockpit, couldn't I? I don't know. Should I? No, I don't know actually. I think I'll do it as the guy with the flying helmet and goggles. Not the guy with the sky captain's hat, because he's got his mouth shut, which looks rubbish. And the guy with the sunglasses on, not got a flying helmet. You have to have a flying helmet. If I can't have a flowy scarf, you've got to at least have a flying helmet. And of course, we're not going to glue the canopy in place at all. That will be done at the very end of the bit. Like one of the last things we do is glue the canopy on, because that needs to be masked and glossed and painted. Look at chat. Ticks is off. I'm going for some sleep tonight. All take care. I know you've gone now, but take care. Thank you for coming in. Time for bed, says Paul Lyons. All my European and UK viewers are falling by the wayside as they're going to bed now, but thank you to you, Paul, and all of you who are going off to sleeps. Jamie's off. Take care, Jamie. I hope you get more sleep than you did last night. I just finished rewatching all of BSG. Quality show, easy, one of the best TV dramas ever. I remember watching it when it was the new thing. I remember having to wait when a season ended and having to wait for the next season. It'd be like, oh, blooming more, because we didn't have my friend Martin and we didn't have any way to watch it live, so we had to just wait till he could, because this was before I didn't have broadband at the time. I didn't have any way to get the episodes. I had to wait till he could get it and download it and then get it on a DVD and bring it round and we watch it. So, we could have like a year between these seasons and it'd be absolute torture waiting. Oh, torture. Right, so we'll get all these bits cleaned up. So say we all. I need containment. I need containment. What we shall do is so all the bits cleaned first. Start doing a test. Lippy flappies down so I can see. Eyes down, look in. Seeing as it's late night, I'm in a feisty mood. And I've got to talk about, because I'm in a feisty mood but also deadly tired at the same time. Feel free to ask me anything in chat. I mean, you should always treat my chat as an AMA anyway. An AMA anyway. Just do these one by one. Always treat my chat as an ask me anything. It's, just gives us stuff to talk about. It's all one way, then it's a bit boring for you guys. Waffling on at whatever I want to talk about for 3 hours. Rubbish. And it could be anything. Ask me anything you want. It doesn't have to be about me. It could be any question in the world, except religion and politics, obviously. It doesn't have to be about model making. It doesn't have to be about me. It could be about anything you want. If I can answer it, I will. If I can't, chat about it. It just gives us stuff to talk about. Feel free. Ask me anything at all. don't worry too much about these because I think this will simply spot any. Not going to see any of that. As far as I can tell, that goes in there like that. Oh, look at that! Why can't other aircraft manufacturers make their cockpits as simple as that? That is beautiful. Airfix, take note, you heathens, with your cockpits installed when you put the fuselage together. No, no, look, it's perfect. No effort. I could get that on there, put it down there, tiniest touch of extra thin, clunk, done. Perfect. Airfix, you guys are amateurs. Amateurs, I tell you. Like that, because you can see that. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there. That's more secure for the bits. I shall do this little tiny piece next because I'm conscious of it sitting there not being... Got a really tickly nose. I do apologise. I tickle my nose because it's itchy. It's not itching. It's like tickly. It's irritating it. Little reticle thing. So not only does the cockpit do the cockpit. Did I just say that? Or pilot, as we like to call him, Fox, you simpleton. Not only does the pilot, or not only have I given him a reticle in the cockpit, he's also got a reticle on the schnoz of his plane, right over the air intake. Yeah. I went to the excessive school of aircraft design. If you're going to design an aircraft, excessive. Now there's a mould line right down the middle of this. I don't know if you can see it. It's literally this little piece here. That crosshair. It's like a little circle thing with a crosshair in the middle. Which is beautifully moulded, I have to say. Fantastically moulded. Got the little crosshair in the middle, but mould line right down the middle. Nub, of course, as well. You couldn't put the nub on the little bit that you attached glue in. You know, they had to put it on the circular bit that's impossible to get to. Duds. Games Workshop, you spoons. Quite tricky to get to. I probably don't need to worry about this too much because nobody will ever see it, but I'd rather be fairly clean and tidy. Be nice, especially if somebody's going to buy this at some point. So it'd be nice if I can give them a nicely painted and built model. In other news, I've been watching closely Royal Mail's ship things from home service, where you print your own label and they can come and collect the package from your house. And up until recently, their service didn't make any sense at all and wasn't very useful. Didn't seem very useful to me. But I've been having a look at it today. It does seem that it might actually allow me to get back to selling stuff. If you remember, one of my main sources of income is that I build things, paint them, get them done, and then I sell them. I sell my builds. But I haven't been able to do that since the start, well, all this year, because I either haven't been building something I can sell, or now that I'm building stuff I can sell, I can't go anywhere. I can't go to the post office to post it. Box, I've got to keep her safe from the pandamoomin. So it's been a right pain, and I've been very demotivated because, you know, my intention is to build things to sell them, and if I'm not able to sell them, then I'm not motivated to build them. In a lot of ways, and I am, but you know what I mean. But it does mean, hopefully, I can, you know, before it's possible to leave the house again, get selling stuff to earn some money. So when the Tabletop Trauma Centre Lehman Russ is finished, assuming by that point I've been able to snag a printer, I can expect that to go up for sale. And such and things. It's fantabulous. I can't wait to actually start, you know, earning income from that, because it really helps out. I'd say it will be basically about 70% of my income will be from that. So very important that I get back to doing that. I haven't been able to do it for a year. See, like I say, I need to get myself a printer. Go. There are limits. I can't send, massively heavy things overseas. Whereas normally, if I go to the post office, I can, send various things. I can't send quite as much as I would be able to through the pick up from your house service. Like to the US, I think I'll have a limit of, say, 2 kilograms or X by Y by Z kind of dimensions. So I'd have to kind of limit some things. I'd have to be consciously about some things that I couldn't send out. It might influence us to a certain degree my building priorities, and also it might mean that some things I just can't sell outside the UK because of the size. Like if it's a big gumplet or something, I can send that within the UK, or maybe someplace in Europe, but I probably couldn't send it to the US because I couldn't fit it in a box that would be volumetrically 2 kilograms. But anyway, that's the future anyway. So at least it looks like I'll be able to perhaps get myself back into that game, which will be nice. That bleeding time, money coming in. Bonds. Let's do his bonds. Have a quick look at chat. Mine's Jack Horner. Who's your favourite scientist? Says, I got questions. I haven't asked anything. What's your favourite dinosaur? Says Ostrich 90 Battrillion. Also, Comoro Junction. What's your favourite dinosaur? Stegosaurus. Has to be Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus. Who's your favourite scientist? Common Road says his is Jack Horner. Jack Horner being the paleontologist, the one that discovered dino chickens and things like that. Who's my favourite scientist? Have to be. I'm torn. Richard Feynman is awesome, but so is Carl Sagan. I think I'd put Carl Sagan ever so slightly ahead of Richard Feynman, but not very far. Just a little bit. I love the way Richard Feynman explains things with this sort of childlike wonder, but at the same time, Cosmos, Carl Sagan. Oh, if you wish to make the universe, what is it? If you wish to make an apple pie from first, can't do Carl Sagan without pitching my voice down. Fortunately, I'm not naturally able to do that. But yes, I know who Jack Horner is. Who's your favourite paleontologist? Paleontologist? Okay, specifically paleontologist. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know. I'm tempted to say Jack Horner as well, to be perfectly honest. Although I'd say Sam Neill, but he's actually an actor. Professor Tedward McSkipperton is my favourite scientist, says Spriggloo. True. Have you built your Stegosaurus yet, Fox? No, I haven't yet, Comoro Junction. I haven't yet, dude, I'm afraid. Literally everything I've built this year, you've seen me build. I finished George's Cesabe, then I did the E-Models Falcon. Now I'm doing the Lehman Russ. And a couple of other little bits in between. I did my little Achilles Ridge Runner as a practice for the Cesabe. But, with everything that's been going on, it's been a real stumpy year this year. And that's a little bit why, if it hadn't been for the lockdown, I was still able to go to shops, I still would have been struggling a bit this year to sell anything, because I've been doing E-Model builds and the Cesabe and stuff. So when I've got the impetus to build things quickly and well, to sell them, my production tends to go up. As I've had that completely removed because I can't post anything, it's kind of in the back of my mind, it's kind of totally just killed my motivation in a lot of ways. Get things done and dusted. Because I'm thinking, well, I can't sell anything till there's a vaccine anyway. Yeah, I don't know rating. But now I know I can do this home thing. Get myself a printer. Right. Thankfully, somehow miraculously, they've not got a mould line on his head at all. There's no mould line on the Orks, or at least if there is one, it's hidden on an edge that I can't see. Burpage. So, you know, ooh, pot noodle again. Oh, yeah. Really want a green pot noodle now. Massive props to Games Workshop there. You see, Osric says Rodney McKay. Oh, if he said fictitious scientist, I'd say Rodney McKay. Retro Rabbit, who's your favourite gastroenterologist? I have no idea. I know what a gastroenterologist is, but I've never had to be seen by a gastroenterologist. Rephrase that favourite astronomer then. Yes, you are correct, Carl Sagan. Well, technically they are scientists. Cosmologists and astronomers. They're technically still scientists. Oh, if I was taking a global approach, I'd still say Carl Sagan. Favourite physicist will be Richard Feynman. Favourite cosmologist or astronomer will be Carl Sagan. Favourite overall science person will be very closely followed by Richard Feynman. More questions. But yeah, Rodney McKay. Favourite fictional. Favourite fictional even. Fictional scientist. Rodney McKay. Rodney McKay's awesome. He's such a jerk in Stargate SG-1, but he comes into his own in Atlantis. The episode where he gets stuck in the puddle jumper at the bottom of the sea. And the bit where, like, Shepard just holds up a lemon. He just goes quiet. His way of getting him to shut up. The one where he gets the personal shield, that's hilarious. I love Stargate so much. All of them. All the Stargates. They're all works of genius. This world needs more Stargate, and unfortunately MGM are so inept that we won't get more Stargate. That little web series, which was kind of garbage, that's probably about the most we get now. Because they're too inept. They don't realise what an absolute goldmine they've got. Franchise. Oh well. Mold line right down the middle of this bit. I can't get to it with the scrapey tool. But this is also in the bottom of the cockpit, so I'm actually going to see it anyway. But I don't know, you see, I'm not going to make an assumption. If you assume, you make an ass of you and me. All you do. File, there it is. Yeah, so feel free to ask your questions. It gives me interesting things to talk about. Again, don't have to ask anything. It doesn't have to be about me. It can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about model making. It can be about anything. Just as long as it's not religion and not politics, because they're irrelevant to me and to this content of this show. Also, really bad things to talk about, so let's not do that. Ask anything. Still freaks me out that orcs are fungus. Love that idea. They're not actually fungal life forms. Brilliant. This truly is an awesome idea. Although I'm always saying I'm a painter and not a builder, and I don't always enjoy the building process. I've got to be honest, two things. First of all, I'm really enjoying building these orc things. These orc vehicles have been great fun. But also, I can't deny the hand on that. You can't see it, but the hand gripping the hands like that gripping the yoke. Beautiful sculpt. There's even, you can see the fingernails and everything. Oh, beautifully sculpted. I tell you, there's not a lot of manufacturers come anywhere near Games Workshop for crisp mouldings and details. Give them the props. Yeah, I've enjoyed building these vehicles, even though I'm not a builder. And I for some reason, I oddly really enjoy building just bog standard Imperial Guard Cadian troops. I don't know why. Just bog standard Cadians. I just really enjoy building the typical Imperial Guard guys. They're really old and mold lines everywhere, but I really enjoy building them. Why? I find it relaxing and soothing. Very strange. Apart from the helmets on the Cadians, they're really. Now there, we often say about how, like, you know, the Ork range of all the Ork figures is a bit rubbish, because a lot of it's really old. But I've got to be honest with you, your Imperial Guard troops, there is a line that needs a refresh. God. All these new, if you see the new battle box things that are coming out, the new like replacements for the start collecting sets, get some Space Marines, some. Do we get Orks? I don't think you get Orks. You get some Space Marines, you get some Necrons, Good Angels. You get Orks there, but you get the Imperial Guard, and it's just a Hydra, a Chimera, and that kind of the same Imperial Guard troops that we've had for the last 20 years. You know, the command squad, it's just the same guys, and it's like, really? About time now, GW, that you started producing some new Imperial Guard stuff. I mean, I know we've got the Tempesta Sounds, and they're pretty mint. I do like them. But, you know, just bog standard Guard. You've only got really, you've got, like, you know, the command squad and a couple of others. You only got a few of them. It's a bit basic. You know, somebody who's fielding a force of Imperial Guard, they built the same dudes, same 5 or 10 dudes, like 100 times. We need some new shizzle now for Imperial Guard. Give us some new vehicles and shiz. Need big ass mold line on this. You know, I was saying about how the molding was beautiful. It was on that one. Okay, Mr. Hand. It was on this one. The other one's got big, massive mold line down. Jinxed it, didn't I? I had to open my big mouth. I'll look at chat in a minute. What else can I talk about? What's been going on? Not a lot, really. Oops. Chris and I did that Destiny stream yesterday. Was it yesterday? That was good fun. We might try doing some more. I don't have the season pass though for the new season, and it's a bit rubbish. But if you like, I had the Shadowkeep season pass thing, so I got all the Shadowkeep expansion bits, which was nice. I could play all the things that came up, and I got them all. But now they've got the new Beyond Light thing, and if you don't have that, there's almost literally nothing you can do in Destiny 2. On all the maps, you can do patrols. You can wander around most of the maps quite happily, and there's a small number of strikes. That's it. There's nothing else to do. But, you know, if you like Crucible, you can do that. I can't stand multiplayer, so I don't bother. And it's like, okay, that's a bit pants. A couple of missions you can do, and then it's like, right, now you need to get Beyond Light or just futz about doing patrols. So yeah, so we did that, but we probably won't do another one now until such time down the line as I get Beyond Light. If I get, I don't know yet. But there's other games we can play. We might try some other things. Until then. Because, you know, Beyond Light is good, but I don't want to spend 50, 60 quid on it for a couple of live streams. that we then forget or get bored of. So I will be at some point getting Game Pass Ultimate, so I'll get it free with that. So might have to wait till then. But in the meantime, we'll look at other things. We've got Destiny 1 we could play through again for fun. We've all got all the pet expansions for that. I think it might now be possible to stream Borderlands, because in the past you can't stream Borderlands because if you had it on your Xbox, it wouldn't allow you to stream it through. You know, you can stream from the Xbox to like Twitch and stuff natively straight through the Xbox, which is what I used to do back in the dark times. You couldn't do it. It would stop you doing it for various copyright reasons. Ooh, Burpage. It was one of the few games that you couldn't stream. There's that green pot noodle again. One of the very few games that you couldn't stream. However, of course, I'm not doing that now. I'm feeding it out through a capture card into Streamlabs, so it might be that I can do that. So I don't know, might get us playing Borderlands maybe. That's a good game. We shall see. But yeah, if you've got Destiny and you haven't bought the Beyond Light package, it's just everything's gone. There's nothing to do. It really is. I mean, you know, you can literally wander around and do patrols, and you can pick up bounties, and you can do the weekly stuff, but there really is just nothing to do. All the campaign missions from all the previous expansions have gone. I mean, most of those literally now you've got Earth, Titan, and the Tangled Shore. That's it. Sorry, Earth, Europa, the Tangled Shore, and Nessus. To do. But the thing is, at first I was angry, but then I thought, well, no, because that's just the kind of game this is. It's not a first-person shooter with expansions. It's a live nonsense. It's not the kind of game I thought. It's not like a standard first-person shooter. And the frustrating thing is, even without the expansion, you can do the first few missions of the expansion. You can go a few missions in, and it's like a couple of missions, and then there's a strike, which is great unless you're playing solo, because a strike requires 3 people. And I know you can do it with 2 randoms, but yeah, that's why I love Destiny to bits in one way, because it's a fantastic gameplay experience, but at the same time aimed at the solo player. Really, so much you're not going to be able to, unless you're comfortable playing with randoms. I'm not, and I keep forgetting that, because the game on its own merits is so good. The gunplay and everything else is so good. It's such a shame that it's one of these, you know, live services rather than a good game. Now, Bungie were supposed to be making some other game that we've not heard about. They had some investment from Tencent. One can only hope they do make something else in the future that isn't just live service. It would be nice if Bungie eventually got back to making just a good game that you can play solo. Solo or co-op, kind of Borderlands style, that'd be good. Borderlands was great. You can play it by yourself, challenging, but you can do it. Or you can play it with up to 3 other people. And that was it. Game. There you go, there's my Foxy rant. It's not one of my streams unless there was some kind of Foxy wibble. Only a minor wibble, I know. Ickle wibble. We're not talking like Dave level wibble here. My wibble foo is not that strong. Wibble foo is strong with this one. Yeah, not that strong. Dave's wibble foo is like nuclear level capability. Right, so we have all these bits now here assembled. And so we need to now assess what we can do with these in terms of assembly that allows us to paint them. Have a quick look at chat there before we do anything else. Right, where are we? Fox, have you seen pot noodles without the pot? I've been eating pot noodles since 1983 or whenever they came out. I know everything there is to know about pot noodles. They are the food of the gods, however you eat them. I used to put them in bowl. I used to get 2 pot noodles, put it in a bowl of ramen. Yeah. I'm only blessed because I didn't. Hang on, start again. I'm only biased because I love I didn't-ology or used to want do as a job, so I would definitely have to say Jack Corner. Okay. Blasted spell check. Paleontology. Okay, I was like, that sentence is a bit of a car crash. What? Paleontology. Didn't-ology is what I did at university. Yeah, I would have, if I was going to be, as I've got older, when I went to school, science when I was taught at school was garbage. It was boring. Physics was how to make a circuit and Newton's laws of gravity. Chemistry was just terrifying. Biology was interesting, but not that basic stuff. And this was like A-level, GCSE level. And it does make me sad that as I've got older now, I've become more appreciative of science in my post-school years than ever before. And it makes me sad in a lot of ways because you know, I don't have the option of studying again or anything like that. I've got an option of doing so. It's sad in a way. Like I would look if I'd been taught like physics at school, like, you know, quantum mechanics and that kind of stuff, even basic level, it would have been incredible. I would have had such an amazing love of science right now. But we weren't taught that. Didn't even know it was a thing. Everything good I found out about science, I found out since being an adult. So it's a shame. I'm sure school is different now. I was young. In the 80s. It were rubbish. Feet, I can stick his feet on. Oop, I've done it, so it's too late now. Yeah, because I can do his feet. Then he goes into the tub like that. Okay, so he needs to. Can he go in when the? He can quite happily go in there, no problem. So I can glue the instrument panel on. Theoretically, I can glue the instrument. If I stick his arms on, what do his arms stick to? If his arms stick to themselves. Okay, that's cool. So I can assemble the instrumentational panel, which is okay. Oh no, it doesn't actually. This is another one of those not very clear. There's a tab on the bottom of this little bit here, but it doesn't really explain what that tab is supposed to go into. Like it's like that. Like that. This is clearly the sticky down bit that the yoke sticks to. You need to make sure it's straight. Oh, hopefully. It doesn't quite line up. Odds are it probably won't. Now I've got that on there. Can he go in? Yes, he can still fit in there with that on. Getting that question. I don't know. You know, if I have to keep the instrument paddle separate, it's just a simple job of gluing that on later on. It's not a problem. If I stick him in the cockpit, can I get him to paint him? Absolutely, because if you can't see it, you can't paint it. So theoretically, I can still paint him while he's in the tub. Pardon the expression. Well, wrong, really. If I stick his arms on, is that going to cause me problems? His arms go together like that, but tenuously so. Ping. Ooh, burpage. Gentle burps. Gentle burps for gentle people. Gentle burps for gentle people. There you go. I think if I'm not a wuss about it, I can probably quite happily think I can glue his arms on and still paint most of it. Should be doable, as long as he's not in the cockpit. This is what it's all about, planning and pre-assembly. I can get to his belt to paint it. A lot of it you might not even see anyway. Yeah, I think I can glue his arms on. I think I should be fairly safe painting him with his arms on. Glue his arms on first. Loosely. Loosely goosely. Then hoping I can line him up with the instrument panel. I've got to line up his arms. I've got to line up his arms on his shoulders and also with each other, and the yoke. That's each arm has half the yoke in its hand. Each hand has half a yoke in it. Get them on there lined up on his shoulders. That together. We wanna be together. There. Blue. When I started doing Warhammer, I dreaded doing figures. Mostly because I couldn't imagine being able to take them very well. Doing Warhammer. Of making them. I don't like the building that much unless it's figures. I like making figures. Weird, I know. If I put him in the tub, that. That goes on there. That. Right. Doesn't actually line up. I think it's quite too high, I think. Down like that. Up again. I think it needs to rest on that little thing. Down there. Line up as well. This is why I like the extra thin, because you do have time to fuss around with it. What I like and everything. Could use the fast setting glue, really. I think would have been a bit better there, but never mind. There, like that. Down. Best thing to do with him, not glue him in. I mean, there's an argument for just gluing him in because you can't really see his feet. But I know he's there, and I know he's not had his feet painted and his legs and stuff. You can't really see them, but I much prefer to fully paint him. And then glue him into place and glue that on there. I much prefer to do that, to be perfectly frank and honest. Like I say, you can't actually see his legs and stuff, and you could leave them, especially when I put the head on. Put the head on as well. You're not going to see anything. I don't know. I can't leave it half done like that. Face on there. Thick glue. It's fatness time with the fatness of glue. Glue of fatness. Glue of fatness. I'm fairly confident I can still paint everything I need to paint anyway. Works for me. Oh. Apologies if all you saw was the back of my great big bonds then, by the way. So I reckon quite happily paint all the rest necessary bits on him. That's fine. Like having his head at a slight angle, that's kind of cool. He'll go on there. I can paint him. I can paint the interior of that cockpit tub. That on there. Glue him in place. That on there. Slide that in. Bits. I think that's my order of build for the cockpit. Do the little aiming reticle on that. So he can have a hole drilled under there, and be, or just under here. He can be some blue tack or something. He can be mounted to be painted. Oh, look at that! Creature on my hand. Hello, little creature. Tiny fruit fly or something. Oh. I tell you what was weird today. Just remind me, we are in the middle of like November. You know, the winter month of November, aren't we? Because pretty much today, I was sat here in the room and I was doing something and I heard and I was like, what the hell's that? And I turned around and there's a ladybird on my wall. It obviously, where the light shines on the wall, it bounced off a poster and made a kind of slappity noise. And it was basically a ladybird in November. I'm like, why are you a thing in November? What are you doing here? How is this even a thing? What? A ladybird in my room, in this house, in this month. Correct. Right, so that's him. That's cool. I need to glue on the little aiming reticle, so I'll put him in there safely. Got the little iron sight. I keep saying reticle. It's just a sight, isn't it? To be honest, I'll use the fast setting glue for this for obvious reasons. Pour la raison. Obvious. It's in without it falling out. Is it going to have to be fast, aren't I? Oh, burpage. I've got the burps today. I don't know why. Just sits on the front panel there. Nice and straight. I can't tell you how beautiful that little iron sight is. You've got the circle with the little bits, the little aiming points. But the little aiming points are like nails or screws drilled into the circle. Just looks fantastic. You play Fallout 4 and you've got, or even Borderlands, and you've got one of the guns where the scope is literally a metal tube with a nail hammered halfway through it. It's like that. There's even rivets on the bottom of that thing there. The yoke goes underneath the yoke. There's even rivets on that. You can't even see that. Breath on it. There you go. Settle in nicely. Done. And what I will do is take the extra thin. And because it was a little scrapey around that little iron sight, I'm going to just run the extra thin around the edge of it. Move it off. That will go there like that. He goes in the cockpit. That sits perfect. That is the easiest cockpit I have ever made. It fits together beautifully. Now it is a bit of a pain that I've got to have the... Oh no, I don't. I glue that on because he can slide in. Let's do that. Let's do that now. Guinness is a cigar called bits that can go together now. That. Bit of glue. In fact, I'll just lift that up. There. Carefully put that on. Now I know. This is why I like to dry fit, especially with Warhammer stuff. But any kit really. You're making it if you've never building something you've never built before, and you don't want to end up with 1,000 things on sticks, because it can be quite demoralizing to have. I mean, trust me, from someone who's built the full armor Unicorn Gundam and the Master Grade Sazabi, having 100 things on sticks, and you know you've got to airbrush them all individually, it can be just sometimes like, oh, I can't do this anymore. It's the kind of thing that can actually put you off finishing a build. I know I never finished my master grade full arm unicorn Gundam. I got, well, I was going to say weapons fatigue, but it was mobile suit weapons and base jabber fatigue and all the accessories. And oops, everywhere. That's on there. Perfect. You can just slide in like a glove. Perfect. I'm so happy with that. That is beautiful. So now I can put that on a stick and paint it. Him on a stick, paint him. I also have, I've basically got those two pieces. I've got 2 bombs. I've got that. And I've got the 4 air brake pieces. And as far as I can tell, I've also got the rear cockpit as well, so I'll have to paint them. So of the rear cockpit as well. Right. A lot of things on sticks. Cool. And of course, the beauty of this is go on there like that. Flip into his cockpit. And the cockpit. Now, see, theoretically, if you bought several of these kits, you could be very clever. If you had several of these, you could technically build one of every cockpit variation, because all the different cockpits fit into these holes, and all the different tails fit into that bit. You could build all these different cockpits and simply not glue them in, either have magnets or just have them friction fit and say, right, this cockpit today I want to play this jet, and I'm going to have that guy in there and this guy in there. See if the sights line up. No, he's got a sight. He's got an iron sight there that's just pointing at the back of the air intake, and then he's got this iron sight here, which is actually too high up. Quite sure how he's supposed to aim or even see what he's flying into, but first sneeze. Hang on. Oh, hello, matron. That sneeze came from nowhere. Blimey. Whew. It was a sneeze without warning. Whew. Right, let's get them out of the cockpit again. Back out again. There you go, young lad. You stay there for a bit. Properly, is that in properly? In properly, yeah. Yeah, that little bit where the yoke attaches, you can't even see the rivets. You never will. Thing I'll say about that fast setting cement, it does set fast, but everything's still a bit wobbly for longer than with the extra thin. A little concerning. I'm not convinced it actually sticks as well as the extra thin. It might do. I think it melts the plastic mold, so it's probably wobbly for longer. Right, let's have a quick look at chat. Where are we up to? I grew up watching Jack Horner on National Geographic Dinosaur Decoded in the 1970s. I like the sound of his voice. He's got that kind of plummy voice. It's quite pleasant. Graham McRobert says something. Some point, somewhere, because... Am I not on live chat? Yeah. Oh, if you were told to build a 132nd aircraft, what would it be and why? Sarah Jane says Blackburn Buccaneer, as my good friend helped design them. Cool. If I build a 132nd aircraft, I'm not a big aircraft fanatic, but if I had to build an aircraft, I don't know what kit's a 132nd. So if I just forget the scale and just say if I had to build an aircraft and it just happened to be in 30 seconds. If there isn't a kit of this, then it doesn't. Ignore that bit. It would have to be. I don't know. See, the Spitfire is the best aircraft ever made. Full stop. I'll hear no arguments about it. Thank you much. If you argue the point against me, you'll be wrong. But would I want to make a Spitfire? I don't know. 132nd scale aircraft. I know what I'd make, and it's You've left it wide open. You've left it wide open. You've left it wide open with no specific information. It will be the not the troop carrier, but the shuttlecraft from V, the little white small one with the gun in the back, and the little, not the big long one that had people coming out, or maybe the passenger one. I don't know. One of those two, the shuttlecraft or the longer passenger shuttlecraft from V. Yeah, that's it. 1/32 scale. I always wanted one as a kid because in one episode there's a kid playing with one on the side of the street. They never released a toy of it. There was a resin kit of the little shuttlecraft, the visitor shuttlecraft, but it wasn't very good. Nobody's ever made one of a kit of it, and it was basically white with black windows. It was dead simple. Yeah, the shuttlecraft be preferred, or the big longer passenger one. Yeah, the shuttlecraft from there you go. The visitor shuttlecraft. You didn't specify anything like real world or not, so I got an out there. Right, what are we doing in chat? I think I've lost a lot of chat here. A lot of conversation going on. I think Games Workshop should make plastic versions of some of the Forge World vehicles, says Paul Di Tommaso. Well, they did. The Baneblade was originally Forge World. And then they made a plastic kit of it, and you no longer get a Baneblade on Forge World. You can buy Baneblade kits on Forge World, but they are part plastic. They're the plastic kit with resin add-on parts. But originally the Baneblade was just Forge World exclusive, and then they peeled it off and did the plastic version. I don't know what their criteria are for moving things from Forge World to plastic production. They did it with the Baneblade. I don't know if they've done it with some other things. People have been crying out for plastic Thunderhawk kits, the big, massive Space Marine dropships. Oops, microphone, sorry. For years. And even on one video Games Workshop did when they had like an Easter egg of a whiteboard in the background, when they were like teasing something. And in their spoiler department, on the background on the wall was like plastic Thunderhawk, ? On a whiteboard. It's like, they know people want one. Yeah, there's loads of stuff. I mean, it would be great if they did. Some of the aircraft they do. Yeah, some of the aircraft they do, the Forge World aircraft, the human Imperial aircraft, they're great. But you can't get them in plastic. You all know me really well. You all know that I would sell all my spleens and all your spleens at the same time for plastic Death Core of Krieg. Oh, God, would I? But it's probably never going to happen. Because they can... While it's only available in resin and they can still make them and they've got the molds for them, we're going to buy them. I think eventually when the molds no longer work, they tend to just take them out of circulation. That's it. It no longer exists. I think with Krieg, they'd either just make new molds or design new figures, or they carry on, because I think Krieg is the best selling part of Forge World. Hey, really? I'd love plastic Death. Yeah, there's some great vehicles in Forge World. La la la. Kenneth Fox, you know that the black mat is to clean your sandals on, don't you? I didn't know that, but it's actually really handy for being like that. I had no idea about that. I didn't actually know what it was for when you sent it to. I knew it was like a sandy type thing. I thought it was just to collect bits. And I've actually found it really, really useful to like sand on, and it saves stuff getting on my desk. I've clearly been using it wrong. But you know what? It's a brilliant mat just for the sand on top of. I'm an idiot. What can I say? I can't help. I'm special. You know I'm special. You know I'm special. I just had to begrudgingly shell out on PlayStation Plus for some lockdown gaming with a few mates. I enjoy online games, but I just resent paying the extra for the privilege. Yeah, that's the thing with Destiny is I love the game so much to physically play it, but I have no interest in online gaming. Competitive. I do like playing co-op gaming. So when all of it's like you get through a quest and the end bit is you've got to do a strike, I'm like, I don't want to play a strike with two random people. Or you get through a quest line and the end of it is you have to do a raid. I'm never going to do a raid. I don't know 7 people that would play anyway, or 6 people or whatever. So yeah, it's frustrating, but I have to keep reminding myself it's not a solo play game. It's an MMO. It's a live service MMO. It's hard for me to keep remembering that sometimes. Let's have a look. Comorero says, what do you use the black mat for? Yeah, I use it to collect when I'm sanding. As you see, when I'm trimming and sanding, it gets all my bits and I can quickly And it's also handy when I've got little bits, if I've got all the little bits ready, to have them on the map. Because then they're not flying off across my desk. So I know I've not been using it correctly, but what I've been using it for has been absolutely goddamn brilliant. I love these Sundays, man. So yeah, you sent me the thing, Kenneth, and I've used it completely wrong, but it's also been brilliant. Oh well. I've just bettered their design. You clean your sanders on top to get the dust out of them. I know that now. Like that. That is actually brilliant. You know what? If you hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have known. But that actually works really well. I can't help being special and a bit dumb. Part of my charm. Yes. I'm just kind of an idiot. You know I'm an idiot. Planes. Don't know anything about planes. I hate aligning Games Workshop pilot and gunner arms. Yeah, when you get people on mounted guns, like dudes on like heavy stubbers, and they've got the two arms like that with the plate between them. It has to line up. If you watch me building the Space Marines floaty tank thing for Conquest, that guy trying to get his You get many options for the pilot, Fox. You have that cockpit I've just built. You get 3 heads. There's also there's 3 heads here, but there's also one with the scarf flowing behind him, because that one has an open cockpit, so he has a scarf flowing out from behind him. You get different heads for him. As far as I can tell, you got those 2 are the same with the open cockpit, and those 2 are the same with the closed cockpit. But then you've got that gun option. So I've not really had a proper look through, but you do seem to get 2 different front cockpits. I guess one is for open and one is for closed cockpit, maybe. Sure what the difference between them is though. But you know, I don't think you can make lots and lots of different variations. I think the pilot is pretty much the same. Just different heads. You get a couple of different heads. Yeah, looking at it here, you see on this one, you've got exactly the same pilot, cockpit, console, same arms, but then because it's an open cockpit, you've got an extra head. You've got the 3 that I had, plus the one with the scarf. But I think for the rear gunner, you get some different options of the grot that's in there, because you can have different guns in there. I don't know. I'll have a look when we do it. I think there's different head options. There's a head with a stack of wires coming in from the back that connects to the plane. I think a Buggles type head with a scarf. Yeah, pretty much. There's one with the pilot glasses on and a headset. There's one with like an officer type peaked cap, like a captain, a flying pilot captain, like in a commercial jet. And then there's the one I've got with the helmet down, goggles up and his forehead. And then there's the one with the scarf. Common Road Junction's off to bed. Right night all off to bed now. Sleep well. Take care, my friend. Sleep well. Paint first, says EC Idaho. William Rayborn's in. Hey, William. Nipple says paint. Ant. Ladybug. Paint man. What? Paint man. What are we talking about? Paint what? Conversation is there. Pot noodle burpage. My post don't seem to be showing, so I'll go, says Shara Jane. Yeah, well, that one showed up. Before that was East. Okay, it's just what I've heard. If your comments don't pop up, it's because if you put a link in, it won't allow you to. Only mods can post links. So if you try and post a link with a comment with a link in it, it won't post it. Or sometimes YouTube just falls over and doesn't let you post it, doesn't put your comment up. But I think there's been a couple of comments popped up. I see you, Sarah, that night, says Lynn. I can read your post, says EC Idaho. Plummy voice, says Joseph Y. Welcome. Sorry, Joseph, I should say. Is it Joseph or Joseph? I'm going to guess it's Joseph. Well, Fox, my 132nd kit will be an F-14 Tomcat by the Tamiya or Trumpeter. It's a big kit. Oh, yeah. No fan of Fallout 76 as ECI Idaho. I've never played it, but I watched the entire Fallout, if you pardon the pun. I watched the entire debacle of it launching terribly, and I instantly had no interest of that game at all. Not just because it came out and it was terrible. I believe it's better now, but again, it's online. It's an online shared experience. It's like, I don't care what the single player experience. I don't mind doing a single player that you can play co-op. That's great. Like I say, Borderlands is fantastic. You can play it as single player, or your mates can just drop in. Brilliant. That's how it should be. But this kind of, you're in a world with other people and you've got no choice. No interest in. But Fallout 76, I might get it if it goes free. Suddenly goes games with gold. Okay. Or if I get the game, whatever it is, thingy. Game Pass Ultimate at some point. I'll get it then. But no interest in it. It's like I did try Elder Scrolls Online for a while. It was alright, but again, it's no interest in it. I just want to wander around my little game world, whatever the game is, wander around the world and experience it myself. Not have people running past me trying to debug me. I wonder if they'll ever do 1/6 scale Space Marine. The Cadian officer seems like a way of judging interest. Asks Chindy88. Yeah, whoever that was that did the big 1/6 scale Cadian officer. I didn't like the face on that Cadian officer. I didn't like his mouth. His mouth didn't work. They might do. Question: does anyone make any models of the Red Dwarf? Asks Sprugloo. Not that I'm aware of. Blimey, you're up late, says Weebadoodles. Yes, I'm going to bed shortly. I'm going to call it quits. Yes, I am. I'm doing a late stream because I need to get some work done. I need to get this done and dusted because I want to. I've told after I'm finished doing this on Warhammer Sundays, the next Warhammer Sunday build after this is the Baneblade. Build that. So get this done, then I can crack on with the Baneblade. 132nd aircraft space shuttle. Good God, that'd be enormous. Fox, with you on that MMO, no interest, but co-op Borderlands games are fun. Yeah, absolutely. Borderlands is great because it's single player with your mate stood next to you. Also playing single player. It was great fun. Yes. So anyway, yeah, going back to the gaming thing. So at some point I no doubt will get Game Pass Ultra, and I haven't any plans of getting it now. Not something I can afford right now. I need to spend the money on. Spend that money on. So at some point I will, and then me and Chris will carry on with Destiny 2 most likely. I have no plans to buy the Beyond Light expansion. I don't need to keep spending 50-60 quid on a game occasionally. It's keep falling for it every time and get this. Although the last one I have to admit, Chris and Paul got me that, so I don't want them to do that again this time. It's not. But yeah, we might try some Borderlands perhaps, or Destiny 1 even. Right, so we've got that bit glued. We've done the cockpit and pardon? Still a little bit loose. Yeah, that's still a little bit loose and wobbly, that little iron sight. I do like that fast setting glue, but I think it melts it a bit more than normal and leaves everything a little bit wibbly wobbly for a while. So you've got to be careful with it. Don't just assume it's going to set things rock solid in seconds. It goes in there, you see? Tail on the end like that. There you go. It's coming on now, that, isn't it? Yeah. Look at that. We've got the air brakes there. I'll leave the bombs out because they need to finish curing so I can sand them back and clean up the mold lines. What have we got left to do? Left on that now to do, we have the rear gunner, which will take all of about 10 minutes. It won't take that long. I'm not going to touch the cockpit canopies, or rather just the canopies, because that's later on. Once that's done, I think all we have to do then is I need to see if I can use any of the other bits to add more to this, just more than beyond what it's supposed to look like. Make it even more interesting. And see if I can cobble together some slightly half custom built alternative tail plane for the vertical stabilizer option. So whoever buys this can have two options. That'd be cool. The other reason for not gluing the tail on as well is if when I do sell this and I want to ship it, that's easier to ship than that. Keep that in. Anyway, think what we shall do is we shall call it a show. I'm going to leave it there. I probably won't get a chance to do any more on this until Sunday. Possibly. Well, not tomorrow, because tomorrow I've got all my Hobby Zone drawers turning up. I think they're turning up tomorrow, so that's at least tomorrow evening or afternoon spent building drawers. And assuming I've got some wood glue somewhere still. Oops. I've got something. I've got that. I don't know how old it is. It might be well out of date. I might have actually sealed itself up. I don't even open. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Test. Test on. I haven't got a bit of test on. I'll just assume it works. It might be fine. That'll do me for 6 sets of drawers. I think, as long as it's still in date. As long as it doesn't run out after, like, you know. I've had that for about, what, year and a half, 2 years? Hopefully it's still. Anyway, that's my task for tomorrow and maybe Friday day, so, yes. If I'm hoping to do a Fallout Friday on Friday as normal. If I'm still making drawers, though, I might actually sacrifice it. Because my Friday and Saturday streams, my game streams, they're booked in stone. I'll always try and get one on Friday and Saturday, but they are the sacrificial lambs. I'll always try and avoid sacrificing Warhammer Sunday. I always try and make sure I get that stream done, no matter what. But if I need to do stuff, then my Friday and Saturday streams are always like the sacrificial. They're like the expansion joints on a bridge. I can drop them in and out if I need to do all the filming, or we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to do a Friday Fallout stream as normal anyway. If I do get a chance to do another one of these during the week of an evening or a late night stream or something like that, I will do. I'll give you a shout. I'll post up on the Facebooks and everywhere else. So don't keep your eyes open. Make sure if you do subscribe that you hit the notification bell and select all, so that if I do an impromptu live stream, YouTube can completely fail to tell you. It should tell you, but I think we'll leave it there. That's going to do us. Thank you very much for watching, all of you folks and ladies and lasses and lads that have been watching tonight. There's about 30 of you, 40 of you earlier on. Thank you all for watching. If you're new to my content, into the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget, of course, if you'd like to help support this channel, because I do this for a living and I depend on you guys to pay my bills. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can become a patron at patreon.com/model guru. Or if you prefer, you can become a YouTube channel member by pressing the join button that's underneath any of my videos. Either way, you'll get ad-free early access content to most of my videos a week in advance, no adverts, and you'll be helping keep the lights on, keep food on my table. So all support is. But that's good. So I'm going to make sure my buttons still work. Are they on? Look, hang on, let me have a look. Buttons are working fine. So I'll give you one last little free.
Slap it on.
Always nice to get a little free bit of 10. It's coming up to 20 to 2 on Wednesday night here on Radio Fox. We thank you for watching tonight. We'll hand you over now to either Radio City or Piccadilly Radio. And it's just for us to wish you a very good night. And don't forget to turn off your set. I love doing that. Anyway, yes, that'll do us. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you very soon. Adios, amoebas.